Hey everyone and welcome. In this video we're going to look at an article in the Telegraph regarding the desperate EU's use of the illegal immigrants being escorted to our shore by our pointless border force and the UK's poor weak lily-livered cook response. Yes, I'm talking about you, Home Office, and specifically pretty full of hot air Patel.
And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration. Rotten politics in this country at the moment. I now have lost all confidence in either of the two main parties. I never had any confidence in the third.
It's titled, EU won't agree deal to take back illegal migrants unless UK folds in Brexit trade talks. Brexit negotiations are deadlocked, but Britain wants an agreement to make it easier to send back illegal migrants crossing the channel. So as you see, in my opinion, just that headline alone proves the EU are actively encouraging the people to leave there and come here illegally. Act of war, I think, personally. But let's read. European Union governments will refuse to negotiate an agreement to take back illegal migrants crossing the channel to Britain if the UK does not back down in the Brexit trade talks, but diplomats in Brussels warned on Wednesday. Talks are deadlocked over fishing, the level playing field guarantees, the future role of the European Court of Justice, and Britain's refusal to promise to stay in the European Convention of Human Rights. All of those things would control us. All of those things would control us. So they're effectively saying, if you don't allow us to control you, we're going to flood you with migrants. Is that not what this is looking like it is already? Britain will no longer be covered by the Dublin regulation. Once the Brexit transition period finishes at the end of the year, the EU law means an asylum seeker must claim asylum in the first EU country they arrive in. And yet they're still calling them asylum seekers when they come in here. Have you noticed what the issue is? Framing by the media and making it out like they're so hard done by. They're not hard done by, they come from France. Perfectly safe in France. British negotiators have put two replacement agreements on the table. One would allow the swift return of illegal migrants. I don't know why we're actually putting that down. We just turn them round, tow them back to French shores and drop them off, who have arrived in the UK from the EU. The other allows unaccompanied migrant children to be reunited with families in either the UK or EU. This is a ploy. This is a loophole they've been using for quite a while, I bet. This is why the men come first. The men will come, then the woman, then the kid comes, and then the woman that's got to let the mother, haven't you? And then the mother won't come without her parents, so you got to let them in as well, haven't you? You see where it goes? EU diplomats warned that Brussels was under no obligation to negotiate the agreements because they were not part of Michel Barnier's mandate or the political declaration setting out the goals of the negotiations. They pointed out the EU had leverage over Britain on migration because more illegal migrants transited through the bloc with a goal of reaching the UK than vice versa. That is blackmail, is it not? How dare they? How about this? We turn them all back and then we fine you for letting them out in the first place. How about that one, Barnier? Turning the channel into the Mediterranean might not be in most states' interest, one EU diplomat said. But at this stage of the negotiations, most member states do not see an immediate interest for the EU to discuss these issues. How about if we threaten you then? Should we threaten you like you've been doing with us? You drop any off here and we'll throw thousands back at you. Hundreds of thousands. How about that? All we got to do is sweep the country for the illegals. There must be millions of them. We can send all of them back to you. See how this works? How dare you try and use people as a bargaining chip? This is disgusting by the EU. This is the lowest they've done so far, in my opinion. They are doing the same tactics, are you ready, as Erdogan. Yeah, Turkey. Exactly the same tactics they're trying with us as what Turkey have done with them. Neither of these issues is covered by the EU mandate. An EU official said, "We have not engaged in discussions on these points as yet. There has been a significant increase in migrants crossing the channel in small boats due to the good weather and the impact of lurgy on lorries, the channel tunnel and ferries. By last Thursday, about 1,700 migrants had crossed the channel from France this year, that we know of, compared to 1,800 in the whole of last year. In May, the government said it was planning new laws to force channel migrants back to France. And pretty full of hot air Patel says a lot and does nothing. The Home Secretary claimed the UK would be able to renegotiate Dublin with the EU. Given the asymmetry of the migration flow, it is not at the top of member states' mind, the EU diplomat warned, during the fourth round of tough trade negotiations, which are being held online because of the lurgy pandemic. This migration stuff seems to be a rather newish addition to the UK demands list. Because we've got a newish problem. Well, it's not a newish problem, but the Tories have been forced into realising that we won't stand for it. Maybe. It's becoming an issue, is it not? It's definitely not the kind of agreement that is any part of any previous EU trade deal. Tough, you've been changing things to include fisheries, haven't you? At the end of the last frustrating round round of talks, Michel Barnier, the EU's chief negotiator, accused the UK of trying to preserve the benefits of the EU membership without the obligations. We have presented the UK legal text on asylum and illegal migration cooperation and await a response from the EU on their willingness to reach an agreement in this area. A British source said the day after officials discussed the issue, the current round of negotiations, which end on Friday, are the last before Boris Johnson is expected to extend a June high-level meeting with EU chiefs to evaluate the progress in the trade talks. Unless a free trade agreement is finalised by January the 1st or Mr Johnson breaks his promise to not extend transition, the UK and EU will be forced to trade on less lucrative WTO terms, and we're all hoping for that. July is the deadline for any extension of the transition period, and I'm sure Boris knows at this point if he extends, he's done. He'll lose all of the North's votes if he does that, to be honest. On Tuesday, the Prime Minister's spokesman vowed there will be no British surrender over the issues of fishing and the level playing field guarantees on labour rights, tax, state aid and the environment. EU sources had claimed the UK would fold once Brussels hinted it was willing to compromise on the major obstacles to a trade deal, but this was dismissed as wishful thinking by Boris Johnson's spokesman. Have you noticed how all of a sudden the media are no longer interested in gender-neutral language? Have you noticed? It's all spokesman, spokeswoman. Just a thought, it's all gone out the window all of a sudden, hasn't it? The European Commission says the level playing field guarantees our commitment to match EU standards to prevent unfair competition, and there we have the rub. This is the thing they are terrified of. Unfair competition basically means they cannot compete with us and are the price of a zero tariff, zero quota deal with a close market. We don't need a close market, we'll just outtrade you then. Isn't that what we all want? We can outtrade them easily. Even after the lurgy, we will be outtrading them, in my opinion. We have the most dynamic economy possibly in the world. The UK argues the guarantees will prevent the UK from diverging from EU rules and are far more stringent than similar commitments in EU trade deals, such as the agreement. This is the thing that bothers me the most. They keep larping on about Canada and Japan and the other places that have got deals. They have obviously made out they are not going to give us a deal. Not under any circumstances, in my opinion. So this saying, well, we could get one like them, well, it's not going to work like that, is it? They either give us a deal or they don't. If they've not done it by the end of July, away we go. I don't think we should extend at that point. I don't think we should continue with negotiations. If they've not been any way, shape or form by then, they're not going to. The EU wants a long-term status quo fishing deal. Of course it does, because they get most of the quota, with reciprocal access to waters under existing conditions, and has made it a condition of the trade, which is exactly why you won't get one. Britain wants a Norway-style fisheries agreement, which is separate to the trade deal, with annual negotiations over access and fishing opportunities. And if they did that, I seriously suspect we'd have a fishing war again. Why? Because they'd still overfish. Would they not? That is capitulation, in my opinion, that last paragraph. Britain wants a Norway-style fisheries agreement, so we can negotiate every year. Negotiate? They get told what they want, what they have, and or not. If they want to buy our fish off us, fine. But don't be taking money off the fishermen. Not for them. Not now they've done what they've done. I have no sympathy whatsoever for the EU anymore. Well, I never did. I've always been brought up to believe that the EU were crap. But I've got no respect for French fishermen either, to be honest. Or the super trawlers, where they seem to be wanting to fish out our waters so we can't get them either. So, my opinion on this, they are using migrants. That's people. I know whether you think the migrants, refugees, asylum seekers, does not matter really, does it? Just as an overall view, they're using people to blackmail a country, which is exactly what they've been crying about Turkey doing to them. But they're willing to do it to us. These people that are trying to make out they are our friends. I say, build a wall across the whole bottom of the country. It's been done in America. Look what they've done with the wall. Let's build a wall all the way across the bottom of the country and just tell the boat people, you come, you'll never get anything here. You'll never get benefits. You'll never get a house. You'll never get residency. You will never be allowed to stay. We find you, we'll ship you out no matter what. And then we tell France, you keep letting them out and we're going to have a major issue. And all of the other coastal countries that are in the EU. But that's my opinion. I'd like to know what yours is. Thanks everyone that stopped by. I appreciate it. It was a bit of a long one, but it is quite interesting, isn't it, to see how low will you go? If you're new, don't forget to hit the like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon, share it out everyone if you want to help the channel grow. It would be really appreciated, and I'll see you on the next one.